Greetings and welcome to another video. It's Sunday, the 22nd of August 2021, and right now I'm in Leegomery. So yeah, it's a really nice sunny day here in Leegomery, and as you can see, I'm on Grange Drive at the moment, which runs through the heart of Leegomery. And let's let the traffic get out of the way for a moment. Now, if we were to travel along Grange Drive in that direction behind me, over that way, you'll get to the Princess Royal Hospital. So like I said, the Princess Royal Hospital is in that direction, but we're not going that way today. Instead, we're going to a little spot just in front of me, which I did a video about a couple of years ago. So yeah. It's been a long time since I last made a video around Leegomery. Yeah, so yeah, that's Grange Drive behind me, where we are now, and nice little field over there. But like I say, where we're going at the moment, we're following this path here. And we're basically returning to a location in Leegomery that I made a video about a couple of years ago, which yeah, is right in front of me right now. Now we're in the shade. Yeah. Welcome to Woodhenge. And this is a beautiful little location here in Leegomery. It's definitely one of my favourite places in this part of Telford. So yeah. It's like when you come in here, I've always called this place Woodhenge, because obviously it's made of wood and it reminds me of Stonehenge itself. And when I made my other video about this spot in Leegomery a few years ago, everyone who left a comment, or most people who left a comment, said, yeah, we used to call it Stonehenge. Well, sorry, we used to call it Woodhenge. And I think it was an art project set up in the very early days of Telford. So yeah, somebody did say this is an art project for the local history of Leegomery and Telford as a whole. I'm sorry, but I forget what I was told about all that. But still, if anyone's got any information about Woodhenge, then by all means, please leave a comment below this video, because this is a really good spot. But on that note, we're here today because, well, I have a bit of a ghost story to share. if I can get my camera stand to work properly. Yep. There we are. Now I thought it'd be a good idea to make this video in Leegomery because the story I've got is set in Leegomery. It happened in Leegomery. And I want to give a massive shout out and mention to one of my best friends, Ed Wyke. I've known him for a few years now. He's an amazing guy. Yeah, whenever I drop by Telford Town Centre and I happen to see him at work, I always enjoy saying hello to him. And in the rare times we meet up for a couple of beers somewhere in Telford Centre or whatever, I always enjoy having a few drinks with him. And a couple of weeks ago he told me about this book that he had 2 copies of, and he wanted to give me one of the copies. And this is the book here. Some Ghostly Tales of Shropshire. And this book is by McCarthy. Now I'm going to put the details of this book in the description box below this video, and also maybe make a pinned comment as well. But I was going through some of the stories mentioned in this book, and I found one story that, as I said, happened here in Leegomery. And I thought today would be a good day to come down and read you this story. So yeah. I'm going to read you the story as it's told in the book, and if you're able to find your own copy of this book, then I hope you are able to pick it up and enjoy it as much as I've been enjoying reading it. So yeah. So the story goes like this. Mrs. France of Wombridge had an experience 50 years ago when she was a child. Mrs. France, her older sister, and her sister's friend were playing in a copse at Leegomery. The copse, which has now disappeared, is on the road through Leegomery. There is a road going to Horton which crosses a canal. Just over the canal bridge is a gateway on the left which opens onto a field. There used to be trees in the field where the children played, but these have now been removed and only the field remains. The children were playing amongst the trees when they heard footsteps on the dead leaves. Mrs. France looked up and saw a figure. She backed off into the field and the figure had disappeared by the time she had stopped moving. Her sister ran out of the field and over the gate. Their friend was just rooted to the spot, and Mrs. France thinks that her friend was screaming. Mrs. France can describe the figure, which was only about 6 feet away from when she saw it. Although they heard footsteps, the figure, which was of a young girl, had no feet. There were no arms or hands, and there was no face. She wore a bonnet which rested on thin air, and a cloak over her dress which reached to about the calf length. Below the gown, the bottom of some frilly pants were showing. Mrs. France feels that the dress could have been Victorian or perhaps earlier. She also got the impression that it could have been a child of about 14 who wanted to play. There was no strange smells or any change in temperature, and the apparition did not speak. Mrs. France has not heard any stories about this area, nor seen anything since her experience many years ago. So yeah, that's only a short story of a ghost sighting by someone called Mrs. France. And I don't know if Mrs. France, you're watching this video, or if you will at some point in the future, but if you do, by all means, leave a comment about the story I've just shared today. It'll be interesting to hear your story again. So, yeah, and when I read through this story, after my friend Ed gave me this book, I found it fascinating. Now, this book, Some Ghostly Tales of Shropshire, was apparently published by Shropshire Libraries in 1988. So the story I just told you must have happened 50 years previous to the publication of this book in 1988. And Leegomery, as it looks now, is no doubt very different to how it looked back in 1988, which no doubt looked very different still to how it might have looked 50 years prior to that. Now, because of that, I don't know where in Leegomery this ghostly sighting happened, but yeah, it's interesting all the same, and I'd like to know more about any other ghostly sightings that happened in Leegomery. I remember one of my first videos on YouTube was talking about the history of Leegomery and Hadley, and of how both places were mentioned in the Doomsday Book, which was like 1067 or 1068 AD, that was written. Not long after William the Conqueror came to England in 1066. So there's bound to be plenty of ghost stories happening around Leegomery. So yeah, nice. Well, on that note, I'm gonna finish this video here. Like I said, I just wanted to share about really interesting story, and it's a beautiful day in Leegomery as well. Very beautiful day. I hope to share more ghostly stories of Shropshire, and specifically those mentioned in Telford, soon enough. So that's something to look forward to. But yeah, I don't know. Thank you everyone for watching this video. I do appreciate it. I'll see you all soon in the next video. In the meantime, enjoy your day, take care, be safe, and I'll see you all soon in the next video. And if you ever get the chance, by all means come to Woodhenge. On a day like today, it's a gorgeous little spot here in Leegomery.